Shun Akiyama, Taiga Saijima, Masayoshi Tanemura, Kazuma Kuryu. Sup everybody, my name Crytek M-Bomb, and welcome back to another Yakuza 4 video. We are now in the premium adventure. Last episode we have finished the main story, and now it is time to tackle what is the sub-story chain of events that is left within this game to start our special little sub-story finale for this game. And I'm not gonna show that, I'm gonna put that all together in my next big video for the Joamon stuff. The Amon Clan of Assassins, that is. In this game, it's going to be very interesting how it happens, but I cannot wait for that. Anyways, we got a bunch of sub-story to do, and I would originally like to see if I can get them all done in one video. But even with the cheat sheet, I don't know if I can. Okay, I can't promise I'm going to be able to do every sub-story in a single video because that's how I want to do it. I don't want to do multiple episodes with these. I was thinking about it too when I recorded it. By the time this video goes out, I would have done all of Akiyama's sub-stories. He had a total of 16. And I'm going to explain most of these and fast forward it. And I know maybe someone out there will not like that, but for the sake of the playthrough, I'm going to show as much as I can. I want to show these sub-stories. It's mostly just about Sky Finance and whatnot. And it's pretty interesting. Hope you guys are strapped in for quite one heck of a sub-story adventure with Akiyama. So I hope you guys enjoy. I am sorry that this is how the video is going to be. It's going to be different for the other characters, of course, but as editing goes, this is really how I'm going to do it. Probably just one sub-story video for each character. I'll do all the sub-stories on that character the given day I upload it, so we can get on to the next playthrough. Alright. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little annoyed by this sub-story. This guy from Paradise Advertising and whatnot. Now, this guy, it was about a sub-story about another person that I'd rather not talk about. You're about to see him in a second. A faggot that will show up a lot in this episode, actually, because he was the brunt of most of Akiyama's sub-stories, and I did a sub-story with him, and I did not show it. Because it covered too much time within the story that I had to cut it out, even though I enjoyed it, even though it was also a waste of time. But this sub-story, however, was about a man that was trying to rebuild his company, and he tried to get money from Akiyama, but then failed the test over and over. Akiyama kept giving him chances, and eventually he wanted to show him some respect after he failed so many times, and he's telling him that he needs to downsize his company so that he can, you know, be in a better position in his life. And he had to find some way to convince him. So, within his means of demands, this is how it ended up. He wanted to help him out, so the guy in the Paradise Advertising, Akiyama called him up and said, "Hey, you help this man out? I'll help him out as much as I can, but give him that little bit of stepping stone." You know what I mean? It's a lot of business talk, but rather not go much into detail with that, because come on, I didn't find him that interesting. He was pretty annoying actually throughout most of these sub-stories. Alright, so this is a sub-story. I hate to say it, but that sub-story right there that I just skimmed is one that I could not show because it extremely took way too much of my time to do for a video. Thanks to that, I had to do that one after the recording of this episode. So other than that, we went to Elise, the front of Akiyama's actual hostess club, and we talked to the scout that was working for me, and he wanted to see if I could pick up girls because this man's an idiot and couldn't get girls himself to actually get hosted into the club, so I had to show him what's what. So I went with a little competition to see if I could get 3 phone numbers from some girls, and I pretty much went with flying colors, obviously, because I'm Akiyama. I ended up scoring 5 in the end of all this. There's no need to show this. It was very interesting. It was cool. It was fun, but it's a decent waste of my time, but one I actually enjoyed, I guess, for a sub-story, because it definitely was different for sure. And yeah, hope you guys stick around, because the next one it just continued to get more interesting from here on. I see that there's another sub-story over here. I know I need to go to a different area for that, but I think these sub-stories are pretty straightforward. Alright, here's this sub-story. Unfortunately, we did not do this one till a little later because of unfortunate reasons, but this girl's name is Shoko. She was in debt from a multitude of things for a very dumb reason, but we will get back to her in a second. First, as I was on my way back to Sky Finance, this faggot shows his face again. Shiobara. This guy says he wants to become my apprentice, but obviously Akiyama did not want that because man don't got time for that. Now, as he kept talking to him, conversing with him, here freaking goes all this crap that goes down between this girl and her husband when she appears in this Sky Finance. I don't know what happened between those two, but she came here looking for a loan and she ended up failing the test. Her husband came through halfway through when she went to go do the test. He wanted to fight me because he was getting frustrated he couldn't find his wife because he's a freaking idiot. And he's a Yakuza. Why not? Because you got to be a hothead to get his ass whooped. So after all that, we of course was still here with Shiobara, and Akiyama was pretty much trying to tell him, man, you got to find your own way to like get around in the world. I can't do it for you by having you as an apprentice. That won't find your answer what you think is good in the world for business. So once you find your calling, go for it and catch it. That's pretty much all Akiyama said to him, and that's what happened. Now this sub-story was a bit unique. After I go back to Sky Finance, Shoko shows up. So yeah, this sub-story was very unique, as in this sub-story was about a woman that was investing in herself and got into a lot of debt with loan sharks and other loan facilities, and Akiyama the only one left that could save her, which was very interesting. She wanted a loan to be able to pay off her debt, but it was also because of her stupid mistake of investing so much money in herself for the sake of helping herself to some fashion and such. It's just why I call her very dumb and retarded. Like, it's really stupid. It's just, this sub-story was unique because in this sub-story, Akiyama gives her a test as she has to use the 1 million yen that he gives her and makes challenge to say you have to use every single amount of that yen to the very last yen. So I follow her as Akiyama to see how she spends her money. She went to a few places. It's not really that important, but one place was interesting because people were talking about Sky Finance and Shoko, which caught my attention as I beat that ass and go on throughout this sub-story. As we go back to Sky Finance, this woman here is very interesting because she technically failed the test because she did not put any amount of yen towards actually doing it for the reasons that Akiyama thought when she went back to Sky Finance, because she had to do it before she went back, but she didn't. In this case, she decided if Akiyama were to consolate her on the expenses, the rest of the expenses being put into her loans, then she would actually, do it. And that was interesting because, quite frankly, Akiyama acknowledged that she was going to use that money to put into her loans. So Akiyama say, you pass with flying colors, since that's where the rest of the money is going to go. So yeah, this was pretty much what the sub-story was, and yeah, that was it for this one. Welcome to probably my favorite sub-story from Akiyama's point of view. So this sub-story right here was very interesting. This guy right here asked for a 30 million loan of yen because the kidnapper stole his daughter and wants ransom. Akiyama is on the case, but in any shape or form, when there's something this big, of course Akiyama gonna give that test. But what was interesting here that gave me a decision whether or not to do it, we had to look up whether or not he was trustworthy to even do this kind of test first. But first, before giving him the money, we had to make sure we could do it in a way that doesn't get in the way of other things. So I had to wait for his call when he was ready to get the money exchanged and give it to the person that he had to give it to. And it happened to be some taxi driver out in Park Boulevard. So we went there, And after we went there, things got a little bit sketchy. Kidnapper said that his daughter was in a bathroom stall in West Park, which is where we were at. And this girl's name was Miki. But things got a little bit interesting. Hana, of course, was also sketchy as to what was going on. So we dug a little bit deeper into this. This sub-story was intriguing for the sake that he tried to pull a fast one. Akiyama was on the case to figure out where the hell this man is at. And we ask around, and we see Miki's friends, and we get some leads going. And as it goes on, we end up finding her. And of course, she's on that run, and we on that zoom as well, trying to catch her, even though things got a bit out of hand. But eventually, we catch up to her. We find out that she's in a hotel. The hotel we haven't seen since Yakuza 3 when we were playing as Kuryu. And stuff went down, alright? Even a special cutscene went down for this as well. But before we went there, we got stopped by a guy, of course, here. And he wasn't that important. He just said he wanted to join force, and I said, no, you're a faggot, now get out of my face. Now, here is this scene that happened at the hotel. How strange. It's been a while since I've been in here. It is room 406. See what's behind the door. Oh.
What? What the fuck?
Oh my god, what is this? What is this nonsense? People are full of it. Yeah, that just happened. And of course the culprit is here, and I'm gonna beat the monkey. Nishiyama is an idiot for this, swimming in my money that I loaned him. And I felt kinda sorry for the guy. But they had some malls, but not big enough for his minds, of course. Anyways, he felt bad, and of course had to get a guy to come back and get the money so they can enjoy their little bathing in money while they can. And that was pretty much it for that sub-story. Alright, if I'm gonna be honest, I did not like this sub-story too much. This was the same for me with the sub-story I couldn't show in this video because it was too long. This one, I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna go straight forward with it. This guy was just a money connoisseur and whatnot, and I answered questions that he wanted to know about the restaurants of Komorato that he tasted for, but it was kind of his job as doing so. Now, finding him on the floor was, however, unfortunate, as he went to apparently 20 different of the same restaurants at Yakiniku, I believe. 20 restaurants and ate at all of them in the same day. This man's crazy. But anyways, this was pretty much a sub-story. There's nothing really else to it, alright? Let's just get on to the next. Okay, this sub-story right here was very straightforward. It was just a guy who was trying to scam me out of some money, and he wouldn't let me leave after I said no to his regards of being a loan service or whatnot. He was kind of a faggot, honestly. He was very retarded, and that was pretty much the gist of it. His boys tried to jump me. I yeeted their ass out of this existence, and yeah. On to the next one. Once again, we are back at Sky Finance. Things are going pretty swell as Hana lets me know that Shiobara, this faggot, is doing well. And to our knowledge, he freaking appears in my office yet again. Talk about how he's gained so much and decided to give us 10 million after I lent him the 5 million. And Akiyama wouldn't accept it, but he ended up giving it to Hana, which was interesting. But anyways, he just kind of had to talk about how much he's been changed, and apparently a client's talking to Hana here, and he's trying to come to Sky Finance but didn't know his way around town, or her. And in this case scenario, all of a sudden, outside, he said a young man talked to him what's happening with Shiobara, and he forcibly pulled him to their office, so something did not seem right. So I was on the case, Akiyama here, going to his office, where the heck it was at, that happened to be here, and this man thought he could fight me and wanted to throw down. I don't know why, but obviously he's working as a loan shark and it's pretty sketchy. Now this other faggot that wanted to join forces with me is using Shiobara. And now I'll put the gist of this sub-story, but it was very sketchy nonetheless. Now here we got another interesting sub-story. Back at Sky Finance, I'm coming across a middle-aged woman here that happens to be the wife of the faggot that we came across that wanted to partner with us. His name is Arima, and this is her wife, and she wants 50 million yen, which is quite a bit. So of course I had to come up with the test. Now, assuming how things go with these tests, I ended up giving her the test of giving her 30 minutes to find employment in Kamurocho, and it was quite intriguing. Soon as she left, all of a sudden, Akiyama gets a call from one of his employees from Elise saying that there's a commotion going down there. And one of the people that is starting a commotion is the woman that he has a test for with right now, which is quite unfortunate. So, Arima's wife is down at Elise trying to get a job, and she's trying to force it, which is interesting given the circumstances that the moment that I get there, I see Arima and his men go inside, and stuff is going down. But also, Shiobara's faggot ass face is here again, and again, stuff gets a little bit interesting. This guy wants to start some stuff. Of course, this is my place. I own this place. I'm gonna beat that, and of course, save this little scuffle for another time. But after all the stuff has been done, we go into a little bit of a sentimental point as Akiyama is pretty much talking about how this man is, of course, being a loan shark, is gonna go down the drain eventually. This man's not, his business is not gonna last. And Shiobara is being a douchebag and not realizing working with a loan shark like him, he's gonna screw himself over in the process because he's being used. Now, his Arima's wife is trying to give the 30 million to help him start his business up again, and to Akiyama's sense, he ends up letting her pass the test. So that was pretty much it for that sub story. Very intriguing as we go into our next one. Even though the sub story was quite a doozy, we see our friendly neighborhood faggot again. So here we got this man back at rock bottom from when he started, when I first met him off camera. This man is pretty much struggling to get money again. He doesn't have anything, and I happen to give him another test, which turned into a little competition of having something that is pretty much from nothing into something, basically, of using a cigarette and turning it into something valuable, and who had the better item is the winner. But the winner, if I win, he will fail the test. So in this case, I did this one, and it was quite fun actually, as I had to use a cigarette to turn into other items that were traded to other items instead of money, and we just kept exchanging from there, and it was actually pretty intriguing. I enjoyed this through and through, and I'll just show it here on out, but nothing really much to explain other than discovering a new YAKUZA freaking heat style here. Freaking amazing. I really enjoyed that, but it annoyed me. But after we did all this, we came back and we went to the pawn shop to see how we both did on our individual scores. We both ended up with a watch, a very expensive one, which was very intriguing. But the point was, whoever had the most expensive one, and I won, and he failed. And yet, for some reason, even though Akiyama didn't give him 100 million yen, which was the whole point of this test, if he won it, I ended up giving him back the 5 mil that he gave me. That was part of the 10 million that he gave to me. So he still was able to start over again, starting exactly with how much he had needed originally, which is quite intriguing in that regard. But pretty much that was it for that sub story. Alright, this sub-story was a little interesting. This one was one where I didn't really show the part, but I ran in front of Yakiniku restaurant and I got Hana some food. She wouldn't take it. She said she was dieting, which was making Akiyama act strange and pretty much saying, I don't see why you have to change yourself just to feel better about yourself or whatnot. But it turned into a situation where I had to find a guy that likes fat women. For some reason, this sub-story was kind of stupid. I didn't really like it for that regard, but I did like it because I ran into this guy right here, which happened to be the most interesting intro to a battle so far in this game. I ended up headbutting the crap out of this guy, and we were just clashing heads for some reason, and then I yeeted him through the window, which was kind of sick. But anyways, other than that, I beat his ass. We continued on. We found the guy that we were looking for. Happened to be because a boss, his boss that was in front of my restaurant was complaining about some scout that was only bringing in fat women, not skinnier women, which is quite funny. But in that regard, we pretty much finished this sub-story with flying colors, even though, not gonna lie, this was a sub-story I couldn't avoid how much time I spent on, and I didn't like it for that regard. So I will say I did not enjoy this sub-story just because of how much time I spent on it. I had to use the cheat sheet. How can I not? I try to do this so I could actually do the videos in a quick fashion so I don't spend too much time on it. But whatever. On to the next one. Now, back at Sky Finance, we got ourselves into another little bit of a doozy type of sub-story. We run into a counterfeiting situation where somebody is faking money when they loan money to somebody or give people money and whatnot. And they're getting quite good at what they do with the counterfeit bills and whatnot. And people are just being scammed out the ass everywhere. And it got interesting. Akiyama got interested when his own friend here that always be constantly giving him money back for paying back from the loan he originally got from Akiyama ended up having some counterfeit bills in it. Akiyama got a little bit upset and said, you know what, gotta figure out who the crook is. Hana drew it, and this is what this faggot looks like. Whatever the hell this drawing is, I have to say they weren't kidding when they said he looked a lot like this sketch, and you're about to see why. This dude actually freaking looked like it. Like, just look at his face. Like, what is that? It's insane. But I'm gonna spare you guys the journey it took for me to do this one. What made this a doozy of a sub-story is how much time I spent on it. It took me a long time to do this sub-story just because the amount of places I had to go to. I had to talk to a lot of people in different places and areas of people's work just to see if they ran into the same situation. But it was interesting. This sub-story was really interesting. After getting to the bottom of it, the dude let himself go and tells us that his friends are out at the docks every night, which I didn't realize, but yeah, we went there at the docks at nighttime, and yeah, we beat their ass, called the police, and that's the end of the sub-story. Oh. How interesting. Okay, back to the office. Okay, originally by this point I had ended the video, but I decided to record it because this was technically my last sub-story I could show in a video. My 15th of the 16 sub-story that Akiyama has. So yeah, this sub-story was a doozy. Everyone will talk about some fake Sky Finance, so yeah, you get the idea. There's a fake Akiyama in Kamurocho, and I gotta get to the bottom of it. This was a bit of a doozy because this wasn't your run-of-the-mill, I'm gonna go find a culprit, I'm gonna go beat his ass, and I'm gonna get what sustenance I can out of doing so. But no, Hana decides she's got a plan, and it was quite an insane little bit of a skit that we pulled off here. I have to say this one was quite enjoyable. But once I figured out where his hideout was, this just got more and more intriguing as it went on. I have to say the dude here that was also playing the scheme as the so-called Akiyama happened to be able to speak just like him and such. It was interesting. This sub-story was insane. I actually enjoyed this one too. It wasn't the biggest of them all, but it was one that lasted a decent amount of time for other circumstances aside. This one was a sub-story I really enjoyed, and holy crap did I enjoy it. It was just a skit through and through. There was some crazy luchador masked man everywhere. It was just fighting the ass. It was insane. Especially Hana-chan's outfit, dude. Like, she was wearing like some afro on her head and such. Oh my god, I love this sub-story. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This sub-story was fun, and all I have to say to it is that even though this man was trying to fake me in the Sky Finance, it was pretty obvious that he didn't find out in the end that I was Akiyama. But we did all fool him, especially the employers from the lease. So, all in all, this was a doozy of a sub-story. Let's get it, boys. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We are now back at New Serena. Some people have trainings. Okay, Haruka-chan is here, which is very interesting as to what her you have to do. I'll do one sub-story episode for him, I guess. But this is it for Akiyama. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to nuke the like button, subscribe if you haven't to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next one. Right here, I finished Akiyama's sub-story in about 40 minutes plus. I don't remember how much time, but 40 minutes plus after I actually finished originally recording the video. So yeah, this was the last of Akiyama's sub-stories. Oh my god. Guys, you guys do not understand. I spent, in total with the recording, over 2 hours of recording, and I edited this down to the exact amount of time you will see when this video goes up. That's the amount of freaking footage I cut it down to. I'm kind of proud of myself for that. But on the other hand, I spent a very long time editing this. I already freaking hate how long it took, so I'm probably not going to do this with the other characters, but I did all the sub-stories on this character. So we will see if I can pull out more of, you know, footage like this. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Yeah. Let's see what I got for you. Occasionally prevents injury where all three of the current Kai, co-current Kai's accessories to boost the protective effect. He also has these packs, but I don't know what these are. Guess it doesn't really matter. I've gotten what I got, and that's the end of Akiyama's journey, and we'll be going into Sejima next time.